Hello, chess family. It's me, National Master Jesse James, and it's time for another installment of how to play the fried liver. Or on this one, we're going to be getting a very cool idea. This one is about sacrificing a piece for, well, a mobile pawn center. Let's take a look. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at, well, one of the best attacking players. We got David Bronstein over here, so he's going to show us how it's done. And, well, I must say, I do like these kind of sacrifices where you get lots of pawns in a mobile center, so here we go. We start off with e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4. We got our beloved Italian opening over here. Black plays knight f6, allowing us to do the knight attack. So knight goes to g5, and here pawn to d5 gets played. The only way to defend the f7 pawn over here. All right, and now we go ahead and take. And here, well, unfortunately for us, they do not allow us to do the fried liver attack. They go ahead and play knight to a5 here, which is one of the best ways to get out of this fried liver. Remember, if they do take on d5, then the fried liver attack is full on with knight takes on f7, king takes on f7, and queen to f3 check. Oof, I'm already getting excited looking at this position right here. Okay, so with that being said, here knight goes to a5 here to attack the bishop. And, well, there's a lot of different lines you could play here. You have the bishop to b5 check line, which is very, very popular these days. And, well, back in the old days, you used to play this move, pawn to d3, which makes sense. What we're doing here is just, well, defending our bishop. And if, well, they take, pawn takes, now you're just up a clear extra pawn. With that being said, well, black is going to go ahead and play pawn to h6, kicking our knight away. So the knight jumps back to f3, and now black continued forward with pawn to e4. And notice, well, if you play pawn takes here, the knight can take the bishop. Well, believe it or not, this was exactly the plan of David Bronstein. He goes ahead and takes anyways. He says, you know what, take it. I'm going to go ahead and get this pawn over here to the center, but I'm going to get these mobile pawns. And, well, you know what? For that sacrifice, you do get 2 extra pawns in the center because now it is defended. So, well, maybe it's going to be enough for it. Here we go. The knight takes on c4 because, well, if you don't, you're just losing. And now we're going to see Bronstein start pushing forward here. Queen to d4, free tempo off the knight. Knight back to b6, and here comes them pawns, pawn to c4 here. I mean, I'm already very happy with this position. Of course, computer does not like it as much, but I will say it looks very easy, or at least more intuitive to play here for white than it would be for black. Remember, it is usually harder to defend than it is to attack. And, well, it definitely got the attacking presence here with e5 or c5 coming in the future. A mobile pawn center. They can just run down the board. The pawns go marching one by one. Hurrah. All right, here we go. Black played c5, and it makes sense here. He wants to stop this pawn going to c5 over here. And, well, this is a good and bad move for us. Why? Well, you did stop this pawn from moving forward, but now you really made a pass pawn right here. There was not a pass pawn just yet, but after c5, now there is one. And, of course, well, you could take on c6 here to stop it, but, well, you don't want to allow the queen exchange as well. That's one of your best pieces to attack with. We're not going to allow that. So after c5 got played here, queen went to d3. Bishop g4, of course, black's looking for trades here. Knight b to d2. If they do take, the knight just takes back. We want to keep control with this e5 square as well. Whenever you're using your pawns, they usually move in a phalanx or on a diagonal, meaning, here we go, a2, b3, c4, d5. And the next one we can get to is e6. So e5 is the next square that we want to control. All right, here we go. Black played bishop to e7. Of course, if you play something like bishop d6, e5 over here looks very good for us. So bishop to e7 got played, castles, castles, and knight to e5 here. Where do knights like to be? In the center. And here, one of the things I like about this knight move is not only is the knight getting to a good square, but, well, in the future, we're going to be able to push our f4 pawn up. And here you're going to just see white controlling all the space in the center. And, well, whenever you can control the center, you can pivot or move to the king side, or you can go to the queen side. All right, bishop h5 got played, pawn to b3. Here Bronstein saying, you know what, I'm going to put my bishop on the long diagonal, which is, well, one of the better places for the bishop to move to. Knight b to d7, bishop to b2, knight takes, bishop takes, knight to d7. Of course, black is trying to make some trades here as much as possible. Bishop to c3, bishop to f6, and, well, let's just get our last piece into the game, rook a to e1. Hopefully you can already envision now f4, e5 is coming in the future. And, well, if you're trying to make these trades, it's not going to be so easy for you now. And, well, black tried it. He played bishop takes, queen takes, knight f6. Well, we would have just pushed the pawn. But here, queen f6 gets played, and white to move. What do you play here? Simple chess. Bronstein had thought ahead. That's why he played the rook to e1 here, so that when this got played, well, we could just play pawn e5. And hopefully now you can really feel the presence of these pawns. All right, queen f5 got played. Let's push these pawns up forward. Pawn to f4. Oh my gosh, look at this beautiful pawn center here. And well, these kingside pawns are going to be helping on the future. Bishop to g6 got played. Knight to e4. I don't know if there was a better square for this knight. And here we can see you can go to d6. Has some pressure over here on c5 here too. But the rooks are lined up. The pawns are marching forward. Here we go. Black played rook b8. Not a bad idea here. Maybe the idea is to play b5. You can see, well, although black has the rooks here, they're not strong. Why are they not strong? Remember, rooks need open files and diagonals to attack. And here, they're not getting anything here. Remember, this is the game about the pawns. And, well, we're just going to push, push, push. Queen f3 got played. Bishop to h7. And what do you play now? Hopefully you see it. Push these pawns. Pawn to g4 gets played. And look at this queen. She's already running out of squares. Queen g6 got played. Pawn to f5 right here. The knight could take on e5, but we'll take back here on g6, and maybe this was one of the best ways to play. Already at this point, if you couldn't tell already, white is now in a winning position, already at a +2. Mind you, it is pretty hard for you to notice, at least I believe it is, because you control so much space here, you don't even notice that, well, black is the one with the extra piece here, right? If you give this to most people and say who's winning here, they're going to say white, even though you are up an extra piece here as black. All right, let's keep pushing them back. The queen went over to b6. Let's defend this pawn over here on e5. Queen to g3, pawn to f6. And what do you do here? Remember the saying, past pawns must be pushed. Here it comes, pawn to e6. Remember, this is no longer a bishop. This is a big pawn. Here, our pawns are going to be pushed down the board here. And, well, black just does not stand a chance here. We are now at +6, saying we're up an extra piece here now. Well, knight went to e5. It looks like a good square. We're actually going to be using this against him, though, because now, well, this pawn needs to defend the knight. That being said, the idea of this game has been pushing pawns. Let's keep doing it. Pawn to h4, thinking about pawn to g5 here. And remember, the pawn can never really take back unless we'll be able to win the knight. Oof. King went to h8 trying to hide, and g5 gets played. The pawns go marching one by one. Hurrah! Rook b to c8, king to h1, queen to d8, and here we go, pawn to g6. This poor bishop. I'm not sure if I can really call it that, right? I mean, is this even a bishop anymore? Bishop just got tired of this, or black just got tired of this. Bishop takes on g6. F takes on g6. I mean, is there a better life for him on g8? I don't think so. After pawn to d6, you can see that the rooks can be shuttled over. I mean, and you can take your time here. These rooks are not controlling anything in this position. They basically are worth less than the pawns right now. Well, maybe not a pawn, but I definitely will say they're definitely worth less than a rook. They're probably worth like a knight or a bishop at this point. And the bishop is, well, not a good piece you'd want in this position anyways. So, bishop took on g6, pawn takes on g6, pawn to b5, pawn to d6. Here we go. Past pawns must be pushed. Queen over to b6, and, well, pawn to d7. Knight takes on d7, got tired of it again. Pawn takes on d7, rook c to d8. And here, well, a very nice finish here by Mr. Bronstein. White to move. What do you play here? There's lots of winning moves here, but can you finish with class here? Hopefully you see it. Here we have the beautiful knight takes on f6. Okay, can't we just take on f6 here? You're more than welcome to. If g takes on f6, well, simple chess. Pawn to g7 check is going to force a really nice win here in 6 moves for checkmate. Here it would be king to g8, pawn takes for queen check, king takes, and here we just play queen g6 with a double threat of rook to e8 and rook to f6. There's no stopping this from happening. So what else could you play here? After this, knight takes f6, can we maybe play rook takes? You're more than welcome to, but you just failed for checkmate in 3. White to move, what do you play? Simple chess. Remember, back rank checkmates. Here we go, rook to e8 check. And, well, there's no good way to block it. You might as well go ahead and just bring your rook back, and rook takes on f8. Oof. In the game, what happened after knight takes on f6, which is a nice move to defend the pawn too. Here, black went ahead and played queen c6 check, and nothing fancy here. Here, Bronstein just goes ahead and plays queen to g2. As again, you're seeing a lot of problems here with this passed pawn. Well, yeah, at this point, black just went ahead and resigned. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed this game. This one was about sacrificing the piece so that you can get some passed pawns running in this game. All right, guys, if you like this, go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.